You must be new here. Now you can click this back for full context, but this is my video just briefly making fun of the MAGA and the leftist Tankies who were complaining before November 5th and saying that things couldn't get worse, and they've gotten infinitely worse. But when someone comes into the comments with something like this on a video like that, it instantly tells me that they're probably a Tankie. Now I have no idea who you personally voted for. You had a few videos talking about how horrible Trump was, and so I assumed you didn't vote for him. You did, however, make a specific video just 3 days before the contest telling people to stay home because of cosmic forces and the way the universe and all that other mumbo-jumbo. Pseudoscience mystic hokum. But if we connect the dots and you say you don't like Trump, but 3 days before you're telling people to stay home, especially based on your response of defensiveness here, that leads us to deduce that you are probably one of those people who did not partake in that contest, and now you refuse, like I've been saying, to take personal responsibility in how your actions led to this point. The only way that we will ever be united is when we're on the same page. And being on the same page means learning from our mistakes. So far, all of the leftist Tankies, as they are affectionately known, have completely disregarded any of their own personal responsibility. They are blaming the results of that contest on everybody else, from the Democrats to the DNC to Harris to Biden personally, anyone but the millions of them that did not vote. Now the problem is, people keep making that same mistake. People who voted for Jill Stein in 2016 still voted for her this time, even though she does absolutely nothing except hibernate for 4 years and then come out when there's an election to try to pull votes away from people. Then she fades back into the wilderness, never to be seen again for 4 years. And so many people voted for third-party losers who had a 0% chance of winning, or they decided by the millions not to vote at all, which personally does make them responsible for what happened. And until they admit that, and they learn from that, we're never going to be united. I wish I could remember what country it was, but a few years ago they did an experiment. People were getting a lot of traffic violations and getting fines, but they didn't care. So what the local government actually did was hire mimes to ridicule people who were making those offenses. It turns out people really don't like being ridiculed, and it was more likely to cause them to change their behavior than a fine. People don't care about paying money for some bullshit little infraction. But being embarrassed, being ridiculed, that'll make them think twice. The people who decided to not vote by the millions need to realize that they are a big contributing factor to what caused this. They pretended that it didn't all come down to math, and they decided to sit home thinking that somehow that was going to avoid authoritarianism. And as an atheist, it pains me to say this, but for lack of a better phrase, until they have their come to Jesus moment, they're never going to learn. Otherwise, the next 4 years when we have this cycle again, if we even have elections anymore, they will do the same dumb shit again. And they will completely tank the election by sitting there going, let's vote for this no-name person! Let's stay home and teach the Democrats a lesson! Like we did in 2016 and failed, and 2024 and failed. Their cosplay revolution got them absolutely nowhere. All it did was destroy the country and sink the rest of us. And now they're trying to blame everyone but themselves for the ship going down. And that shit is not going to fly because we're not children. We're adults who should own up to their mistakes.